So the young vote everywhere across the modern civilized world is starting to become a little shocking. It's starting to freak people out. Remember, you made sure that for a very long time, young men weren't to practice how to be charming and how to kind of disarm young women with their with that smile, their what's it called? Their Bulbasaur smile. No, get that Bulbasaurian grin, you know. The women can't resist. See that kind of died with the millennials. See, no, and then remember, it's unsexy feminism. Want that feminism as not sexy as possible, because sexiness is kind of normal. You know, people like feeling attractive. People like being recognized for their attractiveness. Young women do all these things, try to catch people's attention. They're trying a new style, trying this, trying that. But there you go. Now, older generations that you told those boys, you be obsequious, and you don't disagree with the women. Women are always right. You know, no. You see, if you defend yourself in a fight, you get punished too. Doesn't matter. No. You see, bad people. You what you have to do is you have to go and tattle on the bad people. If you can't tattle, you just accept being their bitch. Because that's really what we're trying to teach you here. No, don't do push-ups. What are you trying to become, all muscle-bound? What are you going to become, one of these muscle guys or something? Like Mr. Muscle Man? And then they would be like, what's the deal with that guy? Why is he talking into his phone? He's yoked. He's dressed nice. What? Why is he talking to that lady? Is that his girlfriend? Well, no, he's walking on. She's saying goodbye. Guess that's just one of his friends. Dang, he knows pretty ladies. He's got muscles. Drinking coffee, talking into his phone, enjoying life. Bet his mom's not yelling at him. And scene. So, ladies, now that you have created this world, you've had overwhelming amounts of power. The kids want to take your rights away. How's that feel? Ooh, that's tasty. That's a tasty cup of coffee. That's a tasty espresso. Tasty espresso. Yes. See. Con sabor. Wow, look at that. Dang. It's cold as fuck out here, by the way. That's all frost. I think we're getting first. It's the air, the first wall of cold air, and then behind it, I think, is supposed to be like the real deal Holyfield storm, but I'm not sure because nobody knows now. Nobody can guess what the weather will be. I mean, and this is like crazy now. Like, you have to look at these guys, these independent dudes on YouTube, to like get like good big satellite shots, lots of diagrams. Like, all of the normal news channels now, their weather reports are fucking shit. Just like, god dang, they just insist on telling you things that don't matter. But anyway, so much of the quote-unquote news is like that now. It's wasting your fucking time. It's like, stop wasting time. So the thing that I'm starting, a long time ago, I kind of started to get this thing of these millennials that seemed extremely attached to their parents. At first, this was heartwarming to me. I was like, well, my generation, we had some pretty weird, we had some problems with our parents. But so in a lot of cases, I knew people who they were marriage number one. And they have younger step siblings that were raised fundamentally with much more order. And this would not be abnormal for Gen X. That you were attempt number one, or maybe you were attempt number two by like your early boomer parent, or some kind of really late silent generation parent, and you were like the last one in line, or you were the or family number two or family number three. So this kind of disorder in the lives of Gen Xers. Then I thought it was, of course I thought it was improving because of my mind state at the time. Everything's getting better. But it was turning out, no, the millennials were going through just as much disorder in their households as we saw, much more lax kind of norms as well. And so eventually you get, like the political issues with the millennials, these people who absolutely were not there, but insisting on because America's always been like this. And I know because when I see shows from the 70s, I know they're from the 80s. When I see stuff from the 80s, I'm sure it's from the 90s. That's how I know. And, so I now really want to kind of giggle, but it's like, no, it's just kind of sad now, this way that the Democrats fell apart, because it fell apart in a way that it wasn't sort of this, there was not, for a lot of people there was a moment of, wow, wait, no, that's a good point. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, now if I'm wrong, what's this person buttressing that I could kind of confirm or whatever what I think? See, that happened. There's people who you Democrats, they might not be gone forever, but it's not a big number. This is not a big number. A lot of people you lost very permanently, and now the very concept of liberalism totters because of how you treated people. You treated people in a way that they can never, ever, ever come back. They just can't. It was too much. I mean, you fucking insisted on people taking experimental drugs in a way that was completely irresponsible, unethical, and actually we, by the end of it, we were right. It was also illegal, and that you have an inherent problem with the idea that people have say over their own bodies in the very real way, like when it's the real thing, not when it's pregnancy. No, the real thing. The government's trying to put something in you that might fucking kill you. And you guys lost that. You lost that battle. You lost that war. So now you're seeing the young saying, let's just uproot the crabgrass. And I warned a lot of people that the young would take eventually it would become, I actually was warning this culture of black people denying the issues that black people have. and their violence and their parental negligence and their lack of literacy in yeah. So this obvious erasure of the norms of culture. That, I mean, because for how much of us were kind of bad kids, I mean, it's just, there were a lot of households, like Goody Mob said, disrespect, like not wiping your feet, what was it, not wiping your feet, coming up, disrespect me, like coming up in my house and not wiping your feet on the rug, and he meant like on the doormat. Like wipe the dirt off your shoes on the doormat. That I knew of, like old black households, that it's like you removed street shoes, and this came from an old way of doing things, from a tougher time, and it's just and women. I mean, like and you didn't disobey the woman of the house in this regard. And there would be like your sneaker bro, and sneaker bro loves being in his sneakers, that's why he's sneaker bro, and sneaker bro would remove his shoes in that lady's house because that's what she insisted on. Norms like that are now confined to kind of almost a certain class in Black America and above. And this is a bad kind of thing that it's now confined itself to that. It's something that, like, there's people who would be like, what you talking about? Take my shoes off, or there'd be people like, oh, that's cool. I'm wearing slides with socks anyway. All day, day. This lack of something attached to a past time, but this insistence that the past was terrible. And then comes cinema, and cinema shows everything in this halcyon dream of what things were like, even in shows that are supposed to express the desperation of the blacks and the racism of the day. You still see black characters in chiffon, wool, and silk ties. Hats that we can't maintain now. Shoes that men no longer know how to shine. Mother, what is this? Because there is no father there to tell him what a pocket square is. They have to make order out of the chaos. They will have order. That is what humans do. The autistic mind, and a mind that we see more and more and more, is a mind that has this shocking ability to depend heavily on the systemization of things. There isn't the same kind of concept of instinct and feeling and abstraction. The red ones go with the red ones. The blue ones go with the blue ones. I put all the red ones together. And then I put all the blue ones together. I made sure everything was clean. I cleaned every inch of it. Then long elaboration on all of the steps to cleaning it. Don't need to know that, but I know this young person needs to tell me, because that's how their mind works. Got to encourage your troops the way that you can. So as the young try to make order out of things, they can't have Thunderdome. They can't have you yelling, "What? Put that down. This child, come over here. Where's the dog? This is over there. That's there. We're here. We're going there." They can't have this chaos. Oh, well, but you see, we need a system to deal with the illegal immigrants. But, okay, weren't we building a wall there? But, I mean, they're killing and raping. Not all of them, but, I mean, you never... Only some of the burning embers are getting on our house. Only a little poison was in your food. It's not all poison. Come on. You know, they're not. They're seeing the pattern. The young have seen the pattern, and now we're seeing the vote change all over the modern world. They're going to set order to things, and I warned a lot of you. They will set order to things. And we've given them that order. We've provided so much insight. So many of us on the dark right. We've given them this understanding of, well, most of what you're hearing from these people who are kind of crazy and loud, most of them, they're just making it up. They actually are citing shit sources. And here, let's elaborate on it. And we've started to win this. And the thing is, it's not going to be the bestest of best times, but it's going to not also be terrible. Now I want to get into something about how the attack on tariffs has come. This is something that anybody who is right of center, this was a key aspect of the whole understanding of history of, remember how you were told this is how the Depression happened? That kind of stuff. So with the tariffs now, one of the things that I wanted to wait before I said this, because I just kind of wanted to see what was going to happen and who would say what. But this is how phony the left really is about all of this. This really actually tells you what the left is, because people think like, I mean, how did the Bolsheviks get anything to revolt against the Tsar's army? Money. Somebody had to provide them money. Somebody had to provide them like money to the level where they could machine weapons. So they could have uniforms. There's uniforms. I mean, like probably somebody was like, you know, Adolf, this is a lot of uniforms, bro. What are you up to? And so all these socialist movements had this actual odd relationship with various business interests and financial interests at varying times during their lifespan. But one of the key things I want to bring up about tariffs is that this is actually a shelving cost. See, taxes, income taxes, everyone's used to them because, well, you have been bred to be a slave. You're just going back to your default settings. You were once a peasant, you're going back to being a peasant. Because that's really the way you think, that's the way your mind works, that's the kind of blood in your veins, is that really you have this peasant's mentality about your life, in a sense, that things just sort of happen, and they happen kind of to you. This also probably explains feeling, blaming people for others, or feeling victimized, or something like that. Having a lackadaisical approach to life. that it's happening to you. The free people who've been well bred for freedom, and that's really not a large number. It's some have been well bred for freedom, so it's natural to them to end up wanting to stay free, live away from other people, have a vehicle, have assets, have skills that they could not have to depend upon others that much, because the idea is they don't want to burden others. If they could take care of themselves, then they could take care of others. Key thing about free people. You'll be like, that's like some kind of superhero mentality. Yes. It comes out of Western Christendom, so you're welcome. So, people want to be superheroes rather than beggaring the state for everything all the time, going like pigs to the trough. Oh, handouts? What, stimmy checks? Nobody really wants that, because that's not dignified. I mean, maybe French people like that, but here in the United States, people generally don't want to live like that. There's a lot of black Americans who are like, I'm not a fucking pet. I don't need handouts. Like James Brown, famous Republican musician extraordinaire, just don't lock the door. I'll get it myself. Or was it, open up the door and I'll get it myself? So this is now the issue that you're going to be facing, is the go-getters, the people who can achieve, the people who won't be cowed. That now they have now the opportunity. Now they can have things. They could do things. They could be what they want. They don't have to sit there and be like, yes, ma'am, even though you don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll take the deadly prick. Because you school teachers are too fucking stupid to understand what viruses are. You're too stupid to understand how viruses work and what they are. That's fundamentally what a big part of that was. People weren't getting the claims being made about the COVID virus can't be real. Oh, watch out, it could be on surfaces for this amount of time. I'm like, no, it can't. It's a virus. What are you talking about? That's preposterous. I was like, viruses aren't that strong. They can't even beat you. That's why you go out in daylight. Solar energy kills off viruses. What are you, idiots? But yes, they were all fucking idiots, and I was right. And now we're uprooting all of you. You will be uprooted. Because why should we be ruled by idiots? Why should we always kowtow to some fucking idiot chick who doesn't think through stuff quite rationally or logically? Like, why should we be going along with it? And really, to a great extent, I mean, Floyd and COVID were the end of you guys. That's it. I mean, you prove to people, like, we should not listen to this party. And now you're seeing it everywhere because it's a pattern. The behavior of the left is a pattern. And I keep pointing out, like, once you see it, you can't unsee that pattern of behavior, because it's very akin to the way criminals behave. And it won't matter that you disagree, young Turks. We got you. Like, Cenk is always selling the same fucking 3-card Monty. Anna is always playing along like, whoa, are you sure it's under that cup? choose wisely, I think it's under that one. You know, it's always a fucking game show. And then you got like completely dead eyes Hassan, you know, and all of you are associated with the same political milieu, even though you want to kind of separate yourselves or something. Yeah. So, ladies, you made this happen, and I have to thank you as a nationalist. I mean, really, we could not have done this without you liberals making this happen. You did 60 to 70% of the work. That's the part that, I mean, I have to sit back and I'm like, yeah. It's like a video game that you just stand there with your fist out and the enemies run up and run into your fist and die. And you just keep collecting not just points, but it somehow becomes actual real money. It becomes in-game currency that you could somehow make into like WoW gold or something, you know, that kind of scam. Yeah, but this has been like WoW gold press latinum. All right, I think I got a special thing that I ordered just in time for the cold to arrive. So I'll talk to you guys later.